Well, good morning, everybody. And this time of year, this is a much earlier walk than I normally do. It's around 7:45 right now, so this time of year, the sun is just coming up at 7:45. And normally I wait. In the winter, I kind of reverse my schedule. In the summer, I just love. I'm a morning person. I get up nice and early, and I love getting out first thing in the morning and taking the dogs for a walk. And I also, in the middle of the summer months, that's the time to get out and walk the dogs, because by 9 or 10 in the morning, it's already 35 degrees. So I try and get out nice and early for the dogs and to enjoy that golden hour of the sunlight coming up and all that kind of good stuff. And then in the winter, I usually rotate around, and what I do is I stay home for about an hour and a half in the morning, and I get all my emails and the work stuff out of the way. And then I take the dogs for a walk, between 9 and 10-ish. And around that time I leave the house because it's warmed up a little bit, and now it's a little bit more appropriate to take the dogs out. Because in the winter, boy, we get some cold weather. And today, no different. So it actually is starting out okay. It's about -4 right now, I think, with the wind chill. But every hour this morning, it's supposed to keep dropping, and we're supposed to hit a low today of like -18. So it just made sense to get out earlier with the dogs today. So let's chat about, right here, Ollie. Sit. Good boy. Let's chat about how cold is too cold. Ollie's got to take a poop. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back on track. Normally, you don't see a poo bag in my hands because I'm pretty good. What I try and do is stop at all of the garbage cans in our neighborhood. So I kind of have a number of different routes I like to walk. I mix it up all the time. Keep the dogs on point, right? And I know where all the garbage cans are on all the routes, so I try and make pit stops there. But, just like us, what are you going to do when nature calls? So Ollie had to go when he had to go. So sometimes I got to carry poo around. Nobody likes that. But yeah, let's talk about how cold is too cold. How cold is it? Like, how cold is too cold to take your dog out? How cold is too cold to be training outside? So a number of my colleagues posted on Instagram this same chart for dog temperatures. So I don't know where it came from originally, but I did take a little screenshot of it. So let's post it right here on top of the dogs, and you can always pause the video if you'd like for a moment. Zoom in and see all the temperatures. And as you'll see in this chart, depending on the dog's size too, because Ollie's not going to be able to sustain the same duration of time out here as the larger dogs are. Ollie's got a great jacket on. I'll swing you over here. So I bought that jacket 2 seasons ago, and it was $175. Yes, for a dog jacket. It is 800 fill power down, so he's got a super nice little down coat just like I do, and keeps him nice and toasty out here. He is a working dog, right? So I mean, he has to be able to come outside in all types of weather when I need him to, so I had to get him a really good jacket. And then even on a day like today, I've got jackets on, Chickpea and Penny as well, to keep everybody nice and toasty warm, or at least as warm as I can get. But there are limits, right? I mean, if you were taking your dog for a trail run, probably can go a little colder than somebody who's really slow and just taking their dog for a slow, easy walk, right? Obviously, just like us, if you're doing an activity outside, you're going to stay warmer. I mean, if I was taking Chickpea for, a trail run or something, and it was -8 outside, I probably would not have a jacket on her. It would be too much to have a jacket on if she was running. But, we're not running right now, so a jacket is appropriate. There was a study done, I'm sure you can Google this, but there was a study done in Japan about 5 years ago or 4 years ago, where they actually studied the temperature that dogs' paws can sustain. And I think it was around -30-ish they're okay till. So they've got a different capillary bed in the pads of their paws, which brings fresh, warm blood through much faster than like we would in our extremities. So this helps to protect the dog's paws naturally. Because I get a lot of questions about booties in the winter, and usually I do my annual booties versus paw wax video, so I guess that's kind of what this is here today. So today's fairly cold, so I did put some paw wax on the dogs. Paw wax is not going to do a great job of protecting against the cold per se, what paw wax can do. If it's really snowy, paw wax can help like the snowballs from building up on your dog's paws, which can kind of be painful sometimes. And it will protect against the salt. So the salt is the real like problem out here this time of year. The salt will dry out your dog's paws, the pads will start to crack if it gets bad enough. So really, the paw wax and the booties are more about protection against the salt than it is against the cold. Because even the booties, like if you think about it, the booties don't have insulation on the bottom of the booty. It's just like some sort of like nylon pad or something that they're walking on. So there's really, like there's no, it'd be like you going out in your slippers. Like there's no cold protection per se, maybe a little bit, but it's really geared towards protecting the dog's paws from the salt and all the nastiness that we put down on the ground. I don't know if you can see, but German Shepherd coming through the window. Glad he's in the house, because sometimes this guy's in the backyard and this fence is about to fall over from this dog charging at it. Do you guys have that in your neighborhood? Do you have like some houses in your neighborhood where if the dog's in the backyard and you walk by, the dog charges into the fence and scares the living daylights out of you? Yeah, we've got a number of those here, and it's frustrating. Often I'll actually just cross the street if I know that house is coming up, because I just don't want to deal with it, man. Dog comes flying in the yard, slamming in the fence, barking, freaks me out, freaks the dogs out. No good. But look, man, I'm not walking around trying to police the whole dog world out here. I got my hands full training my own dog. So, okay, but hopefully that little chart helped you determine whether it's too cold for your dog. But I would say, you know, get a good jacket if it's really cold. For me, I would say like minus 15, getting pretty damn cold. So actually tomorrow, today I'm closed, but tomorrow I'm back to training all day. And it is calling for about minus 15 to minus 18 tomorrow. So I've already emailed all my clients and said, look, I'm going to keep an eye on the weather in the morning, and I will make the call first thing tomorrow. No need to make the call yet. Let's see how things unfold. But 2 weeks ago, we had a cold snap on the weekend, and what I did was I emailed all my clients, and I told everyone we're going to do 30-minute lessons today. So we're going to keep them short. We can stay outside for 30 minutes. And then what I did was I sent all of those clients $50 back off their packages, because we only did a 30-minute lesson instead of the 60-minute lessons. So as I had announced earlier in the season, I'm closing for February this year, because that's what happened last year. I ended up canceling a number of appointments. I ended up shortening appointments. Then I end up returning money to clients. I know we can't control the weather, but if I only give you a 30-minute lesson and you paid for a 60-minute lesson, I'm not keeping that money, regardless of whether it was out of my control or not. What is in my control is I can give you a little bit of money back because you didn't get exactly what you paid for, and the weather is neither of our fault, but I'm not going to keep the full amount of the package if I had to shortchange you by 30 minutes on a lesson, right? It's just not fair. That's just being a good business owner, I believe. But it did end up leading last year to like lost income, wasted time, rescheduling, and then I ended up overbooking March because I had to reschedule everybody from February. So it's just not worth it. And this year I'm already experiencing this in January. It's already just too cold this month. We've had this our third cold snap this month. So yeah, I'll see how this weekend goes. But you know, it's not easy training outside as a dog trainer in winter. And then when you add in the pandemic, and right now, like, we're dealing with this new Omicron variant, and nobody's comfortable with being inside together either. So, I mean, in previous years, I could have just gone and done the lesson inside, but that's still sort of shortchanging you as a client, because we should be outside training. This is where the distractions are. This is where we need to do our training. So even training inside, I feel like is shortchanging the client a little bit. Okay, but that's all I have to say about the cold weather. How cold is too cold? Check the chart. And at this point, my hand, the hand holding this camera, is just throbbing. It is so cold out already. And I'm just about home, so I'm going to tuck this camera away, get back inside where I can edit and post this video for all of you. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Stay warm.